Speaking of weapons, one of my hot takes here with the Broncos, and Denver Bronco fans will not like to hear this, but I kind of feel like, what free agency and draft moves can the Broncos, Chargers, and Raiders make to win the offseason and put them in a position to dominate the division next year? Let's get into it now. Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome into the Third and Thirsty Podcast, your one-pot stop for Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, Kansas City referee, and Taylor Swift free AFC West banter. I'm Alex Bell. I'm a fan of the Denver Broncos. I've seen my team win 3 Super Bowls. To my left, Omar Rubio. He's a fan of the Chargers. He'll never see his team win a Super Bowl. To my right, Edgar Larios. He's a fan of the Raiders. They're from Los Angeles or Oakland or New York or Las Vegas or wherever the hell they're deciding to play next year. He's also never seen his team win a Super Bowl.
No, but those shelves are not empty, though. That's all that matters.
The shelves are not empty, whatever that means. Because they have them from before. Yeah, that was a long time ago. We're old as hell, and they still haven't won one since you've been alive. But free agency is starting, so...
Well, the Chargers have an AFL championship. If we're counting that far back, just saying. All right, let's move on. Let's move on.
Way in the past. I've seen mine. But it's free agency. The draft is coming up. Might turn a new page for the Raiders. I doubt it. But we'll go over some hot takes, some hot drop moves that the Broncos, Chargers, and Raiders can make, and see if the Chargers, Raiders, Broncos can put themselves in a position to win the division next year.
Yeah, especially with a couple of new big names hitting the free agent market this week.
Yeah, the Dolphins are getting rid of all their players.
Fire sale.
Speaking of the Dolphins and Tyreek Hill, anyone want to put their name out there or neck out there for Tyreek Hill to join their team?
Nope.
There's been rumors just because of the McDaniel thing, but
right.
No, thank you.
Right?
No, thank you.
Yeah, there's a clear sign where he's going.
Yeah, he's going back to Kansas City for sure.
The only place he was actually good at. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was good with Miami, but I think with the Chiefs, that's where he really got the most out of it.
Yeah, and they're totally okay signing complete degenerates and playing wide receiver for him. So
that's true.
He is a 32-year-old aging wide receiver with a bum knee who has a propensity for going out and beating the living shit out of women and children, allegedly. So I hope he goes to Kansas City because he'll probably get arrested before the season even starts. And I'm just going out on a wild hair there and just going crazy and saying something that might never happen, but will totally definitely happen with Tyreek Hill.
Instead of trying to compete on yards or competing, he gets arrested.
Yeah, he might have more arrests than yards next year, if I had to take a guess. So it's a no on Tyreek Hill for all three of us.
No, thank you.
Yeah, but he probably will end up in the AFC West with the Chiefs. Yeah. Just don't be a Bronco. God, if he's a Bronco, I don't know if I'm rooting for him next year. But that won't happen. But let's get into some things that might actually happen, but probably definitely most likely won't happen. But we're going to throw some shit against the wall and see if something sticks. We're going to draw some hot takes for the free agency and draft. And again, see if we get something right or not. So,
yeah.
What do you guys want to take a stab at one first? With free agency and the draft coming up, trades?
I mean, mine kind of goes a little twofold into that. It's one thing that I feel like is going to lead to another. I feel like they're going to be trading, the Chargers are going to be trading away Quentin Johnson. I mean, he's been a good player, but I feel like
he hasn't been that good.
He's been maximized, and he's had 2 back-to-back 8-touchdown seasons. There's not a lot of players in the league right now that have had 2 back-to-back touchdown seasons. So there's somebody that's going to see value in that. We're not going to get the first-round pick that we used on him, but I think they'll still get a decent return on him, maybe like a second. That'd be pushing it too. Probably like a third. A third is probably the highest you're going to get from him, but that helps just because Chargers are limited on picks this year. I believe they only have 5 picks throughout the whole draft. They traded away a couple this season to get some offensive line help with the tackles obviously going down for the season. So they trade away a couple of those late round picks. So picking up another pick for them, I think, would be big. So that's my first hot take. And that just kind of goes into my next one, is that they're going to be going out and they're going to need to pick up a receiver to just kind of pick up some of those snaps. And I think they're going to go after somebody that's kind of been in this new offense that they're going to be implementing. McDaniel obviously comes from the Shanahan tree. And whereas Juwan Jennings been playing, Shanahan. So I feel like they'll bring him in just to have some continuity, have some like he'll be able to show these receivers that are trying to learn this new offense just kind of exactly how to run routes, where to break them off, where they need to be, where when zone is playing, you know, where exactly they should be at that point. But I think that's just something that's going to be too easy for them to do. It's kind of a hot take, but I think it's just both of those things together.
Yeah, when you're talking about a combined, just going back to Quentin Johnson and getting a third-round pick for him, I don't know, man. Just because there's so many wide receivers that are available this offseason. So the market's going to be definitely in the favor of the teams that are looking.
But you also have 2 years of cost control. He's going into his fourth year as a first-round rookie, so he's got this year and possibly if you pick up the fifth year option, you have 2 years of cost control.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, if you're bargain hunting for wide receivers, that would be an option, but you are giving up draft capital for that.
Yeah,
but when you have wide receivers available like Pickens, Jennings, Pierce, Wan'Dale Robinson, Debo, Rashid Shaheed, who had a great run with the Seahawks, Mike Evans, Keenan Allen, he's a wide receiver or a free agent as well. There's going to be a lot of teams in for wide receivers, but there's a lot available here too. So, Tim Patrick's a free agent again. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Well, my thing is that he's cost controlled, so you don't have to break
Totally.
the bank for him.
Yeah.
You know, or if you just want to take him for the 1 year, then you might not.
And teams always
Give
overpay
it that
in
much.
free agency.
Yeah.
I honestly don't see it. I don't see you guys getting a third round pick for him. Like, if you guys are going to definitely move on from him, but third round pick, I don't think so. The first 2 years really, like, I mean, he was struggling. Yeah, those last 2 years he really stepped up, but I don't think anybody's going to give up a third just because there's so much free agents going to be available. Worst case, you guys probably going to get a fourth or maybe one of those picks where, like, depending on how much he plays,
Compensatory pick.
you know, it can go up to one of those. Yeah. So, but I definitely do see you guys moving on from him. I'm trying to think. I can see Juwan Jennings going with you guys, but something tells me you guys are going to go more like number one receiver, like somebody that's going to really like help Herbert out. And I had somebody in mind, but I'm just having a brain fart right now. I've been thinking of so many names that I just
It's just hard to tell just because of the new offense that they're going to be implementing. It's more like dictated towards speed. So I feel like Ladd's going to be that number one.
Yeah.
Especially all the motion in the backfield they do, lining them up, starting in the backfield and then moving them out wide, things like that. They're just going to find ways to get him open, and I feel like Ladd's going to have a big year, and they're going to lean on that speed. And then they drafted a wide receiver last year in Trey Harris, who had a really good season and limited snaps. Mm-hmm. That's why I feel like they're going to move on from Quentin Johnson just to give him more snaps. They also drafted a fifth rounder last year in KLS, Keandre Lambert-Smith,
Right.
who has tons of speed. That was his calling card in college, and so I feel like that's going to be the other speed threat. And Juwan Jennings is more of a physical guy that's going to win those third downs, win in man coverage. Just he can play one-on-one, but you know, it's. I think it's just too easy for them to fit him into the offense and not have him be the number one, take away snaps from Ladd.
Yeah, and they could really spread the ball out in that offense there too. So, Juwan Jennings would be a pretty good fit. I don't know if I'd like that as a Bronco fan, so I hope you're wrong about that. Speaking of weapons, one of my hot takes here with the Broncos, and Denver Bronco fans will not like to hear this, but I kind of feel like we were going into the offseason last year with the same predicament and just looking at like, all right, what weapons are they going to add for Bo? I kind of feel like the Broncos are going to stay pat at wide receiver and not make a huge move, not make a huge trade, not go out and sign anybody and just stick with who they have, which, you know, is a young core. I'm not saying I agree with it, so I already see that head shaking of like, Alex, you're tripping. I would like the Broncos to go out and make a big splash, but that doesn't always happen. And you're looking at guys that are still young and guys that Sean Payton, George Payton obviously believe in Troy Franklin, Pat Bryant, Obviously, Marvin Mims just went through his third season, still criminally underused. Would like to see him used a lot more. Maybe they come to their senses and put him into the offense a little bit more here next year. But, you're definitely going to have Court with the way his contract is set up. Just sign that extension.
Yeah.
He'll be around. He's going to be your number one guy, you would think, at least going in. And then I think they're just going to rely on seeing what kind of improvements Pat Bryant and Troy Franklin can make. Troy Franklin played really well last year in his second year, ended up with over 700, 800 yards receiving. They did a little thing this week. I saw that he was the number 2 ranked wide receiver last year when it comes to value, given his contract. So based on his contract and value, he was the number 2 wide receiver. So he's playing well, given his draft position. Obviously, he has a chemistry with Bo. I kind of feel like Sean is going to think that either he or Pat Bryant are going to step up and be like a top number 2 wide receiver in the league. So the offseason is going to be a little bit more boring, just like last year. And Bronco fans are going to get a little antsy, I think. And going to have to wait until 3-4 games into the season to be like, all right, did this pay off or not?
Yeah.
No, because the Super Bowl window is definitely open for the Broncos. Getting to the AFC Championship game, hosting, should have won if Bo didn't break his ankle. We won't go on that again.
Yes, y'all still had a chance to win it.
Yeah, definitely. And you argue that they could have or should have with Stiddy, but they didn't. That season's over. But there is no arguing that the Super Bowl window is now open, and you could make the argument for them to be really aggressive this offseason. But I feel like they might just do it in other ways other than weapons.
I kind of see it just now that I take a step back and look at it, think about the Saints. You never really saw them go out and overpay or pay a receiver big money in the open market. It's usually they developed young receivers and then paid them then when they were in-house guys.
Right.
So
I was going to say, he definitely paid, but it wasn't until after Michael Thomas went out there and caught 180 balls or whatever it was.
Yeah, but they don't go out and overspend on receiver. They draft and they develop. And as far as Sean Payton,
totally.
George Payton might have a different thinking about it. He might want to say, "Hey, I have this money now. I can spend it now," or hold on to it and not do nothing with it. So
I could kind of see you guys actually going out there and picking up somebody else, like getting another weapon. Maybe I wish I had like a list of the free agency.
Well, I got them right here. Like the top wide receivers are going to be available. If Pickens doesn't get free or tagged, he'll be the top guy. Juwan Jennings, Alec Pierce, Wan'Dale Robinson, Debo, Rashid Shaheed, Mike Evans, Dobbs, Keenan Allen, Marquise Brown, Christian Kirk.
a lot of age there.
So
you don't want
a lot
to
of those
overpay
guys.
for age.
Right.
Me personally, I do kind of see you guys still like keeping your guys as receivers because you guys have a lot of young with talent receivers still. I think their weapon's going to be more of a running back, more of a maybe a tight end, but more.
What do you mean they got the Joker in the fold there?
If I recall, I mean, we'll see because Kyle Pitts is going to be a free agent.
If he doesn't get tagged.
If he doesn't get tagged, but I also did see like Patriots might be going for him too. So
he'll have a lot of suitors if he hits the open
those
market.
are like that's. I feel like if you guys don't go receiver for sure, I feel like you guys definitely either go running back, somebody a veteran that RJ Harvey can kind of just learn from, and maybe I don't think you guys probably keep JK. I think he's gonna have to move on. But
I'm starting to feel that way as well for Bronco fans that JK will probably not be in the picture next year, which sucks because, in your heart you want him to come back and play the way he did before he got hurt. But again, Super Bowl window's open and you don't want to be stuck in a position like they were last year where, you don't have a guy that you could rely on as a 3-down back. RJ Harvey is going to be great, I think, as a 3rd-down back. Kind of a change of pace guy coming out of the backfield. I don't know if he's your guy that you want to rely on to go get you 5 yards a pop.
Yeah, I was gonna say unless Peyton wants to run a 3-headed monster and just don't give Dobbins so much carries throughout the season.
Well, no, I mean Sean will always stick with the 2-headed running back room. Obviously, back in the day,
he's
Kamara
always had that,
and Ingram and Bush. He always had players matched up, and that was the idea with Harvey and Dobbins last year. But I think. Harvey's going to be in the mix, obviously, just being his 2 or second year guy. But I do think the Broncos will go out and get another running back. I don't know if it's a big splash guy, though. Again, I don't know if the Broncos make a big splash this offseason. Maybe it's just I'm setting myself up to be disappointed.
They don't have a lot of money to spend, do they?
They do.
Yeah.
They're top 10 in money available because Russ's contract is coming off.
Yeah.
And you look at running backs. I mean, you got Breece Hall, who could become a free agent if he's not tagged. He is a free agent. We'll see if he gets tagged. Kenneth Walker definitely will not be leaving Seattle after winning Super Bowl MVP.
He's definitely.
Rashad White, Javonte Williams coming back. That would be crazy. That's not happening. Travis Etienne, Rico Dowell, Isaiah Pacheco. I mean, there's some good guys out there. And even, more affordable dudes like Najee Harris, J.K. Dobbins.
I mean, Najee Harris.
Tyler Algier is another guy that is available. So the Broncos will make a move, whether it's in the draft or free agency at running back. But again, maybe I'm just setting myself up to where, like, if it doesn't happen, I'm not disappointed like I was last offseason when they didn't make any big moves, So, but that's definitely something I can see happening. Bronco fans being incredibly pissed off this offseason because we're just screaming like, guys, we're here. Like, let's make the move and get over the hump, and it doesn't come.
No, now that I actually just remembered the name that I was thinking about for the Chargers to pick up. And it was just a random video that I saw, and I'm like, I can kind of see this happening just because I don't see you guys bringing back Keenan Allen, and probably I'm pretty sure you guys are going to let Khalil Mack walk. So that kind of give you guys a little bit more money. And I can see you guys, I wish it wouldn't happen, but George Pickens. I feel like him with Ladd McConkey.
You forgot George Pickens' name? We have been talking about a lot of names today.
Ladd McConkey, Pickens, your guys' tight end. I forgot his name. You guys are gonna move on from Disley too, so that's even more money too. Yeah, you guys already got your tight end. So yeah, I mean that's.
But even picking up another tight end, I would say still would be a little bit more important than picking up another receiver. I don't know if they'll completely move off of Keenan Allen. They might bring him back like in a limited role. Well, like you're literally a third down receiver and that's all you're playing. And from all accounts that he's been out there talking to the media and saying he'll come back in whatever role he needs to be in. He's happy to be there and mentor guys. He knows what it's like to leave LA and he didn't like it. So it's like
he played for Matty Rafus and a rookie quarterback. So I mean, sometimes the grass is greener. It just wasn't over there.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. I think more of a tight end though as a pass catcher.
Pickens is going to be a Cowboy.
Yeah, there's no way they let him.
And there'll be a bunch of drama around it because it's Jerry Jones and he likes that. He'll
wait till the last minute.
Yeah, I feel
it'll
like
be some stupid bullshit like that. But he'll be a Cowboy.
You're not wrong, but I don't know. Like, I just feel like he might just be a free agent. I don't know, but yes or no?
Yeah,
we'll see.
All
right. So my bold prediction for this offseason, I'm gonna go for the one that's very obvious, the one that's been going through the news this last.
5 seasons.
The last 5 seasons, yeah. Like every season's a new one, but I feel like this year it's gonna be the year. I feel like Raiders are gonna get offered a really good deal. And from a bunch of different teams, and because Crosby has been with us for a long time, he's been very faithful, breaking his back, breaking his knee for us. They're gonna let him choose what team he wants to go, but as long as those teams are giving up, good something.
As long as the offer matches.
Yeah, exactly.
Equal amounts.
So my bold prediction is gonna be the Detroit Lions, just because he's a Michigan guy. I listen to his podcast a lot. He's always talking about Michigan. He loves the weather out there. He loves everything about that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy to love about Michigan.
Yeah, he's a diehard
God
Michigan.
love him.
Mm-hmm. But, maybe he hangs out with Eminem a lot. So.
But yeah, so I can see them giving up a couple of first-round picks. So kind of what Micah got, or the Cowboys got from Micah, 2 first-round picks. The thing that I liked about the Detroit Lions is their defense. They're very stacked. They have a lot of young talent, a lot of players that they can either re-sign or they can move on from because they have somebody behind them. And the Raiders need a lot of players on their defense, cornerback, defensive line, linebacker. One that I feel like it's going to help us a lot because Crosby, obviously moving on from Crosby, is going to be Josh Pascal. He was a second round pick just now a couple years back. I feel like with them having Crosby and them having Hutchinson, they don't need Pascal. They're going to be able to like let him continue to like learn, continue to like develop in other teams. So I feel like
growing with like the Raiders as a young team.
yeah. So with him being a higher draft pick, a second rounder, still showing upside. He's really good at defense, controlling the run, like setting edges. So that helps us out. And he's still like developing his like pass rushing. So like, sure, we're not gonna have Max Crosby anymore, but it still gives us that pressure on that side. It covers one side, and it gives us like another like top talent because right now Tyree Wilson's coming up to his last year before if they want to give him his fifth year option, and besides him, I don't know who else is on that defensive line.
But I mean, it gives you, if you do trade away Max Crosby, that gives you guys a lot of more money. You guys are already the number one team as far as money in the off season.
So I mean, it definitely gives us like it definitely opens up the books for us even more. So we'll be able to like
you can not replace him 1-for-1, but you can get somebody in like a Hendrickson who's not going to be 1-for-1, but maybe just a step below him, and it's still going to give you solid production.
I don't know if
above solid production.
Why you would do that though? Why are you getting rid of one?
No, but I'm not
aging
saying
defensive player, expensive defensive player to replace him with another. I think if you get rid of Max Crosby, you're just going young.
Yeah.
True. But I was saying it gives you more money to spend somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean the Raiders are going to have a lot of money to play with. Obviously, they have the most in the league, but just because you have that money doesn't mean that players are going to want to go there. So we'll see if they'll be able to spend it or if they even want to spend it.
No, I feel like they're definitely going to. I mean, I feel like this year they're definitely going to spend as much as they're not going to overspend. They're definitely going to be trying to be smart about it. But
you have to overspend.
But they're definitely going to like depending on the player. If they really want somebody, they're going to do whatever it takes to sign.
And that's overspending. I mean, that's why players become free agents.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't feel like they're going to go out there and just sign a bunch of people on random shit. I feel like they're going to specifically pick the person and just
Yeah, but I mean, it's definitely time for them to move on from Max. I don't understand. Like I've been saying the last year, it's been time for him to leave. If you're Max Crosby, I get being loyal and you're a ride or die. I totally respect the shit out of that. Even being a Bronco fan, love when players want to stick around and be with the team that drafted them. But I mean, it doesn't work out that way all the time, and especially the Raiders are a couple years away from being good, especially in the division. I think it's time for Max to go on and
I personally
put
think
himself in a position where he can win now. That's not in Vegas.
I personally think that he does want to move on, and I personally think that he comes out here trying to be like, I'm like ready to die, this and that, but
what do you expect him to say?
Right. I mean, it's not just even that. It's like, he's done everything he could. Like he's like he models himself as Kobe. Like Kobe never left the Lakers. Like he
thought about it a couple times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just like Max Crosby. But at this point, like Lakers were helping Kobe. Where the Raiders are not helping Crosby. So at this point, he might as well just move on.
At a certain point, Kobe said, "Fuck the Lakers, just give me the money."
Yeah. So for me, it's like. I mean, for me, it's like I love the fact that he wants to be a Raider, but last year I was definitely like, nah, don't trade this guy. But the Raiders, that's before I thought like this whole Pete Carroll thing was gonna just fucking go down the drain. But now I'm just like, that was our last chance of even trying to keep him. At this point, let's just move. Like,
it just makes sense for both sides at this point.
Exactly. Yeah, respectfully, it's time to just move on. And I'm wearing his jersey. He's fucking one of my. There's not a lot of Raider players that right now I could honestly say this is a true Raider. Like the last one I can think was Josh Jacobs, and he's a Packers now. Before that, maybe Derek Carr, but Max Crosby is the definition of a Raider. So it sucks that he's gonna move on and win a Super Bowl anywhere else. But he did his part. The Raiders didn't fucking do nothing to help him out with that. So at this point, he's gonna get traded. I'm hoping to like whatever fits him and whatever fits the Raiders, that's why I'm picking the Detroit. I'm just hoping that I'm not expecting an all pro in return for him, but somebody that can honestly, like,
contribute right away.
Contribute, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I could definitely see that one happening. So that's the first round of our hot takes here. Let's get into another round. Before we do, shout out to anybody that's watching us here on YouTube. Really appreciate that. Check us out on Instagram, Third and Thirsty Podcast. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe as well. Finally hit us 100 subscribers. Over 80% of the people that watch our videos are not subscribed to the channel. So please, if you like what you're watching, hit the subscribe button. Helps us out a lot. Let us know that people are actually still watching us. And we'll keep doing this every week. If not, then fuck y'all, and we won't give you the Third and Thirsty Podcast anymore. Let's get into some more. Who wants to drop another hot take for this offseason? See if we can get something to stick.
I guess I'll go again. Like earlier I said that I feel like my next hot take, the Raiders are not going to be as stingy as they were last year in free agency. I feel like now that we have Clint Kubiak, I was like, wait, I hope I didn't say Gary Kubiak or something. But now that I feel like we have Clint Kubiak, he's going to try to build this offense into what he wants it to be. So I can see us dropping just whatever it takes to upgrade our offensive line. One person that I feel like we're going to definitely go for, and it's kind of, for me, it's like I always thought like we were okay at center because with JPJ, but after hearing a couple podcasts, I've been hearing that he would be a lot better at guard. So hopefully if we do end up getting this, we end up in free agency, if we end up, signing Tyler Lindenbaum into a really big contract, because that's what it's going to take for us to like even bring him in. I feel like this offensive line is going to be a step forward to like, not just helping us and not helping the offense be better next year, but I can honestly see Ashton Genty having a complete different season next year, even with our future first round pick quarterback. Yeah, I feel like this offense is going to be solid. So we're going to definitely pay Tyler Lindenbaum. Right now, I think the highest paid center is like $18 million a year. I wouldn't be surprised if it reaches around 20s, 21, 23. So
that'd be a pretty big increase. Yeah. But I mean, you're at least looking at, like you said, like about 18 mil.
Like at 3 years.
The Raiders definitely have that cap space. I mean, so it's available if they wanted to go out and get him. I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, your first round running back is going to be a lot better if he has a fucking offensive line in front of him. So that would definitely be a big boost to the Raiders, no doubt.
I mean, they're going to have...
Chargers are another team that will probably
say, they're going to have some competition for Linderbaum there. Chargers are probably going to do the same thing as back up the money truck and
drive
open
up his
it up.
Price.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are going to have to, because with all those taxes that they're going to take away from that paycheck. You guys are going to have to make up for it.
You could also sell them on a quarterback that's already ready to win, a team around that quarterback that's on the up and up, and with a couple tweaks here, could be ready to win
until it comes up to the playoffs, and then
at least there's a chance to the playoffs.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
You'll enjoy the regular season, but
at least you can tell him that at least you'll make it to the playoffs. But after that,
maybe he's the missing piece. That's what you got to sell him on the Raiders. Like, you might see the playoffs in like 3 years when you're at the end of your contract here.
But that whole paycheck is there. With the whole paycheck with no federal taxes, you're all set.
Yeah, that's going to tell you what Linderbaum's after, if he's after the money or if he's after possible success.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like, his talent is going to talk. Like, if he's out there just fucking completely 180, then yeah, he's out there just collecting a check. But if he helps that offense just a little bit, it's a win-win.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, he's also going to look at himself like, damn, I just helped us go from 3 wins to 5.
And then he's going to say, damn, I just wasted my whole career just trying to get to the playoffs. I did it with the Ravens just to come to the Chargers and take half of my paycheck away.
Hey, you can go to other places and get half of your paycheck taken away too.
Say, as a Bronco fan, I hope he doesn't end up on either team. And I'm glad the Broncos aren't in the running for him either, because we got our center. So we're all
there's when I was looking up like available free agents, there's definitely a lot, but he's definitely like gonna be the favorite for a lot of teams.
He's the best center out in the market. Not saying that he's the best center in the game, but he's the best center out there available.
Yeah.
So
No,
obviously
they don't come available, especially at just 25 years old. They don't become available very often.
Yep.
Which makes you wonder. Will Baltimore tag him?
There's a possibility.
They declined his 5th-year option last year.
Why would they do that?
They cited
from what I know, they
money
were trying
reasons.
From what I know, they were trying to
they were going to try to re-sign him at a lower cut. But why would you want to re-sign him with all the? I mean, yes, they have a decent coach coming in as a defensive coordinator. You don't know who he's going to be as a head coach. There's going to be a lot of movement, a lot of influx there in Baltimore. So, hey,
you never know.
He might want to go and be just the same program, just on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe he just wants to stay with the Ravens now that there's a new coach and everything.
Maybe. Or might want to follow his old coach to New York. Never know. You know, we'll see. But, hey, there's going to be a lot of competition for him.
Yeah.
There will be, definitely.
Oh, definitely the center, yeah.
Okay. What about the Chargers? Got another take you want to throw out there?
I think they're going to go after, this is like super specific, Elijah Vera Tucker, not Tucker. Tucker. He's a guard. He's probably the best guard out in the market. I feel like the Chargers are going to be very heavy in on him. I feel like he's still young enough. There's a lot of other guards out there that might be on par with him, maybe a little bit better, but older. And I don't feel like they want to get older. I feel like they want to get younger, more athletic, especially with the McDaniel offense coming in, which is getting people blockers out into space. So I wouldn't think they would want like an older aging guard in there. So Elijah Vera Tucker, he's a very solid guard. I think they're going to go after him, as well as you took mine already in Linderbaum. So they're going to super go into this free agency, like focusing on the interior offensive line. That's going to be their number one. They don't want to mess with it in the draft because sometimes it takes them a little bit to develop. You want somebody that's going to be proven, that's already going to be in there, especially with your two bookends already ready to go.
Almost like a Mekhi Becton.
He wasn't proven. He had a 1 year.
Hey, you were very excited.
But it is a different type of offense. They're definitely going to cut him. First of all, that's another. I guess I can go with that as part of this bull take. Is he's going to get cut. The offense is completely different. It's like I already said. It's more getting people out into space, getting these interior offensive linemen or any of the offensive linemen into the second level and get into those linebackers and take those linebackers out.
It's going to be very interesting because Mike McDaniels and Clint Kubiak are both run the Mike Shanahan type of offense, like zone. So I can see the Raiders and the Chargers basically going for those type of O linemen because we both need like linemen. I mean, you guys just need the interior. We need everything that's not the left tackle.
Only 80% of the line.
Just the 80%.
What about Jackson Powers Johnson? He's out there. He's
solid. Like, don't get me wrong, he's solid. I don't know how he plays zone. I've never seen I've never really seen like a good offensive lineman or coach help this team fucking run
You could have stopped at that. I've never seen a good offensive lineman on the Raiders.
That's true.
I mean, we did. I mean, we had one of the best offensive lines when Derek Carr in 2016. That's why they call it the car insurance before he broke his leg, though.
Well, no matter what they do, I hope they just keep DJ Glaze around.
Oh, yeah. Not at right tackle, though. He's going to be moving into guard, though.
I just want to be able to keep saying his name on the podcast. So
yeah.
No, he's definitely just going to stay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think the Broncos are going to trade Riley Moss. And I'm not saying that as a Riley Moss hater because I do like Riley Moss a lot. I think he gets a lot of hate, undeserved hate. White corner, holding it down for the white corners.
He's going to go to the Eagles. Watch.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
The Eagles be taking all the secondary.
But I can see it happening. I mean, the Broncos have depth at corner. They got, obviously, Chris Abrams-Drain, who they drafted a couple years ago. And when he has gotten in, he's played really well. Took over for PS2 when he got hurt, held it down. And then, obviously, they drafted Shadé Barron in the first round last year. So you want to start getting him on the field a little bit more. Broncos have depth at corner. I don't know what a Riley Moss would get back in a trade. Probably wouldn't be a ton,
Depending what his contract looks like, if it's team friendly, you might.
It's definitely team friendly, so
you might get more than what you think.
But George Payton likes throwing those darts in the draft, so I wouldn't be surprised if he would jump at the opportunity if a trade came up. And
like a fourth and a fifth, maybe for
him.
Yeah,
something like that. I mean, just get some darts to throw during the draft because George Payton's a guy that likes to have all those draft picks. So I would hate to see it because I like Riley Moss a lot, and I think he has a lot to the team. But I think if the Broncos get the opportunity, they might jump at it just because they are so deep at corner. And then they might just draft another guy to kind of fill in there and develop more depth. So would hate to see it, but Riley Moss might be on another team next year.
I could see that.
A lot of Bronco fans would love that because he gets a lot of hate, but I think it's undeserved.
No, he definitely had a solid season this year, especially when PS2 went down. He really, I feel like, almost took that opportunity to kind of show who he was at that point. I was hoping that every week that people were going to start, or teams were going to start exploiting it, but honestly, he came up when his name was called, and
he holds it down.
Unfortunately, he played well. So
he's the most targeted corner in the league, and that's what happens when you play across from PS2.
White corner.
So.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And you're white. You get targeted, dude. It's hard out here for them white corners.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, even when he was getting targeted, like, he'll give up a play, he still went in the next play and fucking didn't shake him, and like he just, he'll make up for it basically.
Yeah. It would suck to see him go. A lot of Bronco fans hate on Riley Moss.
No, he was definitely be a good corner at another team.
Yeah, but
Raiders.
Yeah, that definitely happened. We're going to need a first-round pick to send them in division.
Hey, that might be one of our next topics in our next segment. Is
white corners?
No. But no. I mean, I guess it wouldn't match because it's like free agents. We'd hate to see go to another team.
Oh, yeah.
It'd have to be in a trade at this point. But
Yeah. Okay. We got anything else we want to throw out there? Or you guys want to move on? We've been going for about 35 minutes at this point.
Oh yeah, I think it's covered it.
I think we're good.
Okay. Well,
anything else that I would say, I'd be stupid to say it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you say a lot of dumb shit, so let's move on. It's still going to be free agency, off-season related. We're going to do internal free agents that we would hate to see go to an interdivision rival. We're not going to break down free agency as full because you got a lot of other podcasts will probably be doing that, and let's be frank, they might be doing a little bit better. But we're here mostly just to kind of talk shit and just throw some shit out there that fans want to see or don't want to see. So, you know what? I'm going to start because I've thrown you guys the ball the last couple. So, Broncos have a lot of free agents out there. John Franklin Myers is the big one that we want to bring back, obviously. And then we got fan favorites like Singleton and Dobbins. PJ Locke is another one. But restricted free agent that I would hate to see go to the Chargers is Jaleel McLaughlin. He's restricted, so he's not unrestricted. The Broncos will be able to match if it came to it. But with McDaniel going in there and running that offense, my fear is that Jaleel McLaughlin would become the next Devon A. Because
it's a lot of speed,
a lot of similarities between the two. Jaleel is real shifty, so much so that he made his Instagram handle, Shifty Leel. No, that's tight. And this guy, he got the ball here, especially at the end of the season, he's averaging 5-6 yards a pop. He could hit that hole real quick and go and get you 10 yards, easy. You put him in an offense with McDaniel calling the shot, and if the Chargers are going to be able to, bulk up that offensive line like we kind of expect them to do so because they got the money to play with, and offensive linemen might want to jump at the chance to play there. So, you put them behind a good line in an offense like McDaniel that is going to run the ball a lot and get really creative and giving them opportunities to make big plays. Jaleel, I love you, man. I hope your Bronco next year is starting not to look that way because I think things are going to get shaken up there in the running back room. I hope you the best. I wish you the best as long as it's not interdivision. And let's be honest, too. Jaleel would look super dope in those uniforms. So,
dopest uniforms in the league.
Yeah. So, Jaleel, don't go to L.A., please. Anywhere else.
I mean, that the more you talked about it, the more you were just bringing me into that, especially because I say he's shifty, he's quick.
He won't be too expensive either.
But the Chargers already have their bruiser back in Maureen Hampton. So you get somebody that comes in like as more of a third down back, can spell Maureen Hampton here and there. But I think that would be a perfect pairing for the Chargers. Like you get your bruiser and you get your thunder and lightning. You get both of them, and that's usually what propels teams into the playoffs.
Yeah. It would be a nightmare for Bronco fans to see Jaleel run all over them during the regular season. Wouldn't happen in the playoffs, but yeah. Anybody else got other ones you want to throw out there?
There we go. So, fortunately, there's not that much for the Raiders. I don't think either one of them would want any of the free agents that we have. But if there's any of them, there is one. I can think of one for each team, but the one that really sticks out to me is Malcolm Koonce. He really didn't have a really good season this year because he was coming off an ACL tear last year. So obviously, when they come after that, they don't really it takes them a while to get back to, what they used to be. But he's still young. He still has a high motor. He can set the edge. Before his injury, he was really good. He was starting to get really good at getting after the quarterback. So for me, it's Chargers are moving on from Khalil Mack. He's going to get a little too expensive, so you guys want to get somebody younger. Malcolm Koonce obviously didn't have a crazy year last year, so he's going to come cheap, more of a prove-it deal for you guys. And I feel like with Hardball, he's going to get, super motivated. He's going to fucking start being, just trying to get back to his old ways. Trying to prove that how he was before, the injury, basically. But the other person that I was thinking of free agency for the Broncos was Raheem Mostert. A veteran, he's really good at, not like you guys need a kick returner, but he's really good at special teams. But he's very reliable on those third downs. When you need that third down, he could either catch the ball out of the backfield, or he can actually get between the lines or between the cracks and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So. Like I said, I feel like the Broncos are honestly, a running back away from really being a solid offense. Somebody that's a veteran. You guys would have to move on from pretty quick after, but I feel like he'd be cheap enough for you guys to pick him up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, I think you and I are in the same boat. As I don't want to see that happen either. If the Broncos do make a move at running back, Raheem Mostert will be pretty low on that list for me, behind guys like Breece Hall and. ETN, and there's a ton of guys I could probably name before Mostert, but
I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. This guy would be very cheap. He wouldn't ask that high contract.
I don't want cheap, man. Super Bowl window.
But
Fuck cheap.
But I'm just saying, if you guys don't go for Breece Hall, that's a pretty solid pickup just because he's cheap. Right. He's veteran and everything. So. But like I said, there's not really much I would want to, I could honestly say that you're that's definitely somebody I want. Mm-hmm. No, even Malcolm Koonce, that's more of a prove it deal, not really I'm going to drop my whole bag on this fool.
Yeah. What about the Chargers?
For the Chargers, the one free agent, it'll never happen, but one free agent that I would hate to see go to division, especially the Broncos, is be Keenan Allen. That blanket, that security blanket for Bo Nix at this point of his career would just be so invaluable. Yeah, so invaluable. Just all right, you're only playing on third downs. You know where you're going to be. Get your chemistry with him and just get there and get the first down and go down. That would be so invaluable for Bo Nix because I feel like he doesn't have that at this point.
Yeah, he relies on Court for that quite a bit. And Court does fill that role pretty well, but you can't rely on Court to be the number one guy for all three downs and throughout the game, right? So it would be nice for Bo to have someone kind of in the middle of the field that he can rely on. It's kind of up in the air whether or not Bo even likes that part of the field. He doesn't really hit tight ends, we see. So, and Keenan's really good finding space there in the middle. But yeah, having a blanket there, a third down guy that you could rely on would definitely be helpful for Bo. And going into his third year, I would love that.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to just see you get upset about it too.
Yeah, it would never happen.
I know it would be heartbreaking for you.
Yeah.
Hey, money talks, bro. I bet you there's a number for Keenan to go hey, you know what? I'll do 1 year there. True. I know that Bo could win a playoff game, so why not?
He's gonna be like another J.K. Dobbins.
Hey, don't put that evil out there. I don't want JK to get hurt.
No, not like that. You know,
Oh,
you know
leaving
how,
the Chargers to go to Denver.
Wasn't he like all happy when he was like, "Oh, I'm so much happy here in Denver"?
He said he's a Bronco for life.
Yeah, that's what I meant, not the other part.
That's what happens when you go to a real franchise, man. Yeah. Okay, well, I got another one, and it was just one I was thinking of right here. Two guys that I would hate to see go to the Raiders. One I can't see because he's a Bronco through and through, and that's Alex Singleton. But his backup, Justin Strnad, he should be a starter in the NFL. He played great this year. He's been great the last couple of seasons when he's had to fill in. I really don't see him coming back to Denver just because, again, I think he understands that he's going to be a starter. He's already came out and said that he's not coming back to Denver if he's not in a starting role. So one of those guys is going to be gone from the Broncos, whether it's Singleton or Strnad. I would hate to see one of them go over to Vegas because they could use an inside linebacker like that of that caliber.
We need linebackers, period.
So it would really boost that defense, and would hate to see them twice a year. Both of them are great players. So,
well, you definitely gave me somebody to keep an eye on because
damn it,
we'll see how that goes.
Now that Edgar from the Third and Thirsty podcast is on to it, I'm sure
go
Tom Brady's right behind him.
Yep. I got Tom Brady on speed dial, and I already knows.
Man, I just fucked up.
One player that I would hate to see going to the Raiders would be
anybody.
Oweh.
Dude,
especially if they
solid.
traded away Max Crosby. That's what I said. Somebody that's not going to be 1 for 1, but a step lower. That's still going to keep your defense competitive.
Right.
Then
I'll be
something
happy
like
with
that, it would be sad to see go. Even though he had a good season with the Chargers, the rest of his career has been mostly down rather than up. He's had one good season besides that, and then he started off this season with the Ravens. 5 games into it, 0 sacks, and then pressures were low, and then as soon as he got with the Chargers, I don't know, coaching or just like a new life with the new team
better
and
scheme fit and everything.
That too, and they would put all 3 pass rushers in at once in that package where it's Thule, Mac, and Oweh all at once. So that somebody's bound to get there, especially if he's the quickest one out of all of them.
Yeah. Those are 2 good picks.
But anything else you guys want to throw out?
What about a player that you would want to see go into another team? Like
I got a perfect one for both of you.
Like all of them, the whole team.
Perfect one for both of you. Geno Smith. I would love to see Geno Smith with all y'all.
As a backup.
I guess. I can
it wouldn't
see it
matter
happening.
at that point either way.
Clearly,
season's over when he comes in, no matter what.
Yeah.
we all know in the NFL we always need a good backup, but.
Well, Geno Smith's
I said
not
a good
free
backup.
agent.
I never said a quarterback. I just said a
but
good.
if it's a free agent, though,
Yeah, because
he's not a free agent.
He's
still
going
under
to
contract
be.
for like 3 years.
He's going to be traded.
Like I said, he'll probably.
They're
Good
gonna
chance he could get cut.
Yeah, they're going to either cut him or try to trade him, but
Yeah.
it depends on if anybody wants to take that. Who I would like to see you guys take? Honestly, anybody that's a free agent right now. I don't see anybody you guys taking because you guys is almost every position that I can think of. Like you guys already have a solid player there, so I don't see you guys taking Landon Roberts, Jamal Adams, any of the corners. I don't see any of them.
Or even that
Jordan Meredith for this full interior as a center.
Oh no, hell no. Hell no.
Yeah.
All right.
I really can't think of any Bronco fans or Bronco free agents that I want to get rid of, man. I love this team. There's no one on here that I'm looking at the list.
Or even
man, that guy's
possible
a bum.
cut candidates that you wouldn't mind seeing him on another team.
He already said
Yeah,
Geno,
you already said
so-
Geno, yeah.
I can't think of any cut candidates I'd want gone either. I mean, as a fan looking at this list, like I don't want to see Burton go to the Raiders or the Chargers. Prentice, Troutman, Lucas Kroll, Lil Jordan Humphrey. Come on, man.
Lil Jordan?
You got to keep Lil Jordan around for some reason. There's no one on this list that I'd be like, yeah, that team's going to get worse with this guy. Broncos got some dogs, man. So I don't get to join this conversation. You guys go ahead.
No, I'm good. I already said mine. So
I mean, if we're like I said, if we're going with how to put it out there, cut candidate, the center that the Chargers had,
He's gonna come
Bradley
back to the
Bozeman.
Raiders?
Going to the Raiders, missing out on Tyler Linderbaum. Like, yeah, we got this next guy up here that's gonna just like.
I'd rather take JBJ on center.
Yeah,
Broncos took an old center last year in Sam Mustaver. He actually got some snaps
He's a
in the
backup,
playoffs too. Yeah. They got down to him in the division game, I
Yeah.
believe. No. That was week 18 against the Chargers. He got some snaps, I think. Anybody else?
Nah, I think we pretty much covered it.
Yeah, I think that covers it for this week then, yeah?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. Well, until next week, we'll be back. And 362 days until Bo Nix wins his first Super Bowl.
Not gonna
Cheers.
happen. Cheers.
What out-of-the-box moves can the Broncos, Chargers, and Raiders make that'll make or break their season for the next season? Season. What can they make, break, season?
What the fuck is going on?
What out-of-the-box moves can the Broncos, Chargers, and make this offseason that's going to make or break the season next year? We'll get into it now. I keep saying season.
And you forgot to say Raiders.
Did I just say Broncos and Chargers?
Yeah. I was like, well, fuck me, man.